Hey there, and welcome to this explainer. Look, today I'm stepping in as your safety mentor, and together we're going to dive deep into the cognitive psychology of true riding intelligence. You know, we often think of motorcycle mastery as purely a physical pursuit, right? Perfect throttle control, scraping knees in the corners, razor-sharp reflexes, but cognitive scientists and riding psychologists, well, they tell us a completely different story. Riding isn't just physical, it's a mental operating system. So today, we're going to upgrade yours by exploring the exact cognitive processes that keep the smartest riders out there alive.
All right, let's just go ahead and dismantle everything we see in the movies. We've all seen the myth, the idea that a highly skilled rider is the fastest, most aggressive person on the road, weaving through traffic like it's some sort of video game. But the reality? The riders with the highest riding IQ are almost always the quietest. They're the most invisible riders. It's like nothing ever seems to go wrong around them. And that's because motorcycle psychology proves that true skill is way less about raw physical daring and entirely about how your brain reads, predicts, and responds to a constantly changing environment. It is literally about processing power, not just horsepower. So, over the next few minutes, we're going to walk through a complete paradigm shift for your brain. We're covering 4 key stages to upgrade your mental OS. First, background threat detection. Second, spatial and intuitive computing. Third, resource management. And finally, system updates. Let's just dive right in.
Kicking things off with Section 1, Background Threat Detection, or as I like to call it, the always-on scanner.
Think of a high IQ rider's brain like a quiet, constantly running background scanner. For you new riders out there, here's a mental model to explain this. These experts operate on the assumption that other drivers absolutely cannot see them. Psychology calls this proactive hazard anticipation. Now, this isn't pessimism, it's just a highly calculated survival strategy. Instead of reacting when a car suddenly turns left at an intersection, your brain is already positioning for it. Here's a great daily mental warm-up for your commute. Before you even start the engine, say it out loud, "I am invisible today." Then use your ride to look at common traffic scenarios and ask yourself, okay, if that car right there doesn't see me, where's my out?
Now, cognitive studies actually show something fascinating. Experienced high-awareness riders identify hazards an average of 2 to 3 seconds earlier than everyone else. 2 to 3 seconds might not sound like a whole lot when you're just sitting on the couch, but to put that into perspective, at 60 miles per hour, you travel nearly the length of an entire football field in 3 seconds. That gap is the absolute difference between a smooth, evasive maneuver and a catastrophic impact. So, how do we build this? It requires dynamic situational awareness. High IQ riders are constantly updating their mental model mid-ride, basically treating every ride as a living puzzle that keeps changing. If they notice a shift in the road surface, their brain recalculates braking distance before they even consciously decide to. Here's a super simple step-by-step checklist to build your own situational awareness. 1. Check the surface. 2. Recalculate your stopping distance based on that surface. 3. Identify your immediate escape route. Just rinse and repeat. Moving right along to Section 2, Spatial and Intuitive Computing. This is all about position and instinct. This is where the brain analyzes the road exactly like a MasterCard player reads a table. We call it spatial threat modeling. It's the continuous mapping of your environment to physically place your motorcycle in the exact location of lowest risk and highest visibility. Lane position is never, ever random. It shifts every few seconds. How do you categorize road risks during your daily commute? While approaching a bend, move to the left third of the lane to open up your view early. A great way to safely practice this lane positioning is in low-traffic areas. Just systematically shift from the left to the center to the right of your lane and just observe how your sight lines drastically change. It's how you keep those escape options wide open.
But what about when something just feels wrong? You know that feeling. A high-riding IQ rider will roll off the throttle immediately. Psychologists call this intuitive risk detection. And guys, this isn't paranoia. It is your brain's supercomputer instantly pattern matching against thousands of stored riding scenarios, flagging a dangerous situation before your conscious thought can even form a sentence. My absolute best advice as your coach? Trust that quiet signal. Treat it as real, accumulated data. Slowing down costs you almost nothing, but ignoring that little ping can cost you everything. Here's an exercise to strengthen this. Every time you get that gut urge to slow down, just do it. And then actively ask yourself, what specific detail did my brain just catch? So what are the actual data points feeding that intuition? It's all about reading microsignals. High IQ riders possess this almost spooky behavioral prediction ability. Long before a car ever uses its turn signal, assuming they even bother to use it at all, they broadcast what they're going to do. You need to watch for front tires just beginning to drift toward the lane line. Look for the driver's head turning slightly in the mirror. Notice if a waiting car at an intersection is sitting at an unusual angle, or listen for an engine revving from out of view. Make this a daily routine. Treat other drivers as data sources, not just obstacles, and practice guessing their movements before they happen.
All right, Section 3, Resource Management, protecting your cognitive bandwidth. Here's a harsh but critical truth. Ego and performance anxiety are literally the two biggest disruptors of your cognitive bandwidth. High-riding IQ individuals, they are almost completely indifferent to how they look on a bike. They feel absolutely zero need to impress anyone. Seriously, leave the ego at home. It's just too heavy to carry anyway. If you take a corner faster than your sightline allows, just to show off for the group, you are stealing the exact mental processing power your brain needs to spot that patch of gravel in the road. Master that internal focus, eliminate the ego, and your brain becomes fully available for the one job that matters, keeping you safe.
And this internal discipline, it starts before you even move. For high-riding IQ riders, gear isn't just armor. It's a psychological commitment made before the engine even turns over. They don't debate gear. They don't negotiate with themselves just because it's a hot day or a short trip down the street. The gear goes on every single time. Behavioral psychologists call this consistent risk mitigation behavior. Wearing your gear is a ritual. It literally physically signals your brain that high-level attention is now required.
This actually ties into a fascinating psychological trait known as a high internal locus of control. Basically, this means making decisions based purely on your own internal standards, completely ignoring external social pressure. A true expert rider is 100% comfortable being the absolute slowest rider in the group if the situation calls for it. They've totally decoupled their personal identity from their speed. If visibility is poor, they slow down. If they're feeling fatigued, they slow down. The road conditions set their pace, not the group, and certainly not the ego. Which brings us to our final section, Section 4, System Updates. This is all about the growth mindset. Look, your mental operating system isn't just install it and forget it. You've got to constantly update it. We do this through metacognitive reflection. Put simply, high IQ riders think about their own thinking. They mentally debrief their rides. Here are some specific metacognitive reflection questions for your own post-ride review. Ask yourself, why did that corner feel slightly off? Or was that gap in traffic actually safe, or did I rely way too much on luck just then? The goal here is to extract the vital lessons from your close calls without needing an actual crash to teach them to you.
Because ultimately, competence is a direction, not a destination. To build a growth mindset for long-term skill development, you have to stay curious. The most consistent marker of a high-riding IQ is a genuine, lasting curiosity about the craft itself. These riders read crash reports, they analyze their decisions, they actively seek feedback. The exact second a rider believes they have nothing left to learn, that is the exact moment their survival odds start to quietly decline. Staying curious isn't a weakness. It's hands down the most reliable predictor of your long-term survival on two wheels.
And that brings us to our final and honestly, probably the most important metacognitive question you can ask yourself. What am I missing right now? The road is never static, right? And your skills can drift. High IQ riding isn't about being fearless or being the most technically gifted person on the asphalt. It's about maintaining a mind that keeps questioning and keeps updating. So I challenge you, take this psychological framework, take this exact question, and apply it to your very next ride. Upgrade that mental operating system and let the road be your teacher. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer. Ride smart and keep that scanner running.